Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from TA Confused Bro. Am I in the wrong for rejecting a woman who once rejected me? I, male, mid-20s, spent most of my childhood and early adulthood focused on education. I'm not naturally gifted, so I had to focus and work hard, as my parents encouraged me to. Things finally slowed down later during college, and I found myself being more social. There was a girl, Nat, in my social circle who I liked, so I asked her out. She laughed when I did, but she said it was just so unexpected, and that's why she laughed. Still, it kinda stung. She declined and said she wasn't dating at the moment. Spoiler alert, she was definitely dating, just not me. But whatever, she said no, so I moved on. I got a good job out of my hometown, partly based on my good school performance and connections through internship. Two of the guys from work, let's call them Tony and Steve, mid to late 30s, hang out with me a lot and got me to come out of my shell more. They told me to start coming to the gym with them because they were tired of looking at my beanpole arse. I had a lot of fun and improved my body drastically. Now, Tony and Steve were a couple, so whenever we go out, they'd be really good wingmen, and really got me out of my shell. I'm still a bit awkward, but much more comfortable in social situations now that I've gotten some experience. This happened over the course of like 2 years. I wound up asking my job to work remotely to be closer to my family, health/money issues back home. Not going to get into it. And got approved as long as I travel back to the office quarterly for important meetings and stuff. So now I'm back home. Again, I ran into Nat at the grocery store a few weeks ago. Turns out she's raising a kid on her own, and generally doing well for herself. We ran into each other again at mutual friends' parties. This is when she asked when I was going to ask her out again. She has a kid, so no. I said the thought hadn't really crossed my mind, and she seemed offended, like, why not? I said I'm not interested and thought that was that. I did kind of remove myself from the conversation quickly after that. Well, apparently, that wasn't okay to do. Nat came and found me again and demanded to know why I'm not interested. Because you were interested 2 years ago. She doesn't deserve an answer to that. It doesn't matter, 2 years is enough time for people to change their likes, but whatever. I told her that was 2 whole years ago, and she lied when she rejected me. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And so I hadn't thought of her in that way ever since. She said a normal person would have been over that. Don't you love that? Oh, you're male, so you must have no emotions and just be able to take it like a doormat. So, back to the story. Then said it's because she's a single mom, isn't it? I mean, honestly, I have no interest in dating single mothers because I'm literally now just dating. I don't want to have to deal with all the stuff that comes with that situation like that. But more to the point, I'm not attracted to Nat anymore. I just simply don't see her that way. Am I crazy here? Like, why are her friends blowing me up because I don't want to date her? Tony and Steve are telling me that I don't owe her a thing. Tony and Steve are right. But some of my friends at home are telling me to at least give her a shot. Your friends are idiots. Tony and Steve, two bloody buff gay angels, man. I haven't really talked to my parents about it, but my younger brother is saying and my older sister is telling me to trust my gut. I just don't understand why or how this got to be such a big deal. Hi, OP. And like you said, it's been 2 years, things happen, you change, and all of a sudden you're good enough now? So, she has a kid. I assume she's not in a relationship if she's chasing after you like that. So that means she chose a guy who, did his deed and left her. And now she's chasing after you, the guy who's making money, who's in shape. She can, she's probably getting up there in age. And, once you become a single mother, it's a lot harder to date. And I don't know about you, but having a child is a deal breaker for me for dating. I'm not going to raise another person's child. The only way I'd do that is if I adopted a child, and that's because I made the decision to do that. And the reason why she's losing her mind like that is because she can't accept rejection. She was the one holding all the power back then when she laughed at you. And don't forget, OP, she laughed at you and said she wasn't dating, and she still dated. I was in the same boat as you too. I asked a girl out back in it was like high school, and she laughed in my face. Yeah, I wouldn't give her the time of day if I ever saw her again, which I don't think that's ever gonna happen. And again, she has a child. That's an automatic no. Why do you have to raise somebody's child? She's acting like she's doing you a favor. She still thinks that she's amazing and this huge catch. No, you already failed at a relationship and have a child that you're raising. Like, that's failure. If you're to me, that's failure if you make a kid and that you guys can't hold it together. And I don't know what her deal is. She might say that he did horrible things to her, but again, people lie. So I don't know. I forgot their names. Was it Tony? The guys who have your back, who like build you up and all that. Those guys are great. Freaking, like I said, angels. Um, Listen to them. She doesn't deserve your time of day, OP. She's hunting after you because she sees you as, she sees you as secure, that you have money, that you're doing well for yourself, and that you can raise somebody's child. And so no, you shouldn't do that to yourself. You finally got on your feet, got your finances right, you're in shape, and now you get to enjoy that. And you shouldn't have to settle for someone who's already been used up. You should be able to find yourself a good woman who actually likes you for you. And you know what I mean? And plus her friends coming after you, don't let them get to you. I don't know what she told them, but they're probably in the same boat as her, friggin' screwing up their life, and they went, "Oh, if our we should help our friend because we suck too." That's the vibe I'm getting with them. Listen to the buff angels and listen to your sister and trust your gut. You do not owe this woman an ounce of your time. Block her friends. And OP, even if you were thinking about doing it, which you should never ever do, but if you were, her friend should have been a huge red flag because she's telling him stuff and they're over there and who knows what they're telling him. So, OP, no, you're not in the wrong. Do not date that woman. Your life is going to be a hell for it. Oh, I forgot to add another thing why I wouldn't bother with a single mother. She dated a guy, you know what I mean? So what if that guy snaps, sees you as a threat, and goes after you? You have to think about things like that. So also with that, you also have to think about your safety. OP, not worth it. Our next one comes from... okay, this is gonna be a little tough. Yes, Jerish. Am I in the wrong for keeping my brother and parents at a distance because my brother is dating my ex? I dated a girl for 2 years in high school. I broke up with her when I went to college. She was still in my hometown at the time. My brother started seeing her while I was away at college freshman year. I came home in the summer, and he told me he was in love with her. I was in shock at the time. I shut down emotionally, and it made it seem like I was okay with it. I was not, but I didn't know how to respond. He's my older brother, by the way. Anyway, it turns out my parents knew about this, and my brother kept it from getting to me by telling my parents and others who knew that he was the one who had to break the news, so it was kept a secret from about October to May. This was all 10 years ago. Since then, I've had several relationships and have finally found my fiancé. We're getting married in a few months. My parents are upset, but my brother is not my best man. They are upset he wasn't invited to my bachelor party. They kept saying I need to forget and forgive. I did exactly forgive him, my brother, but our relationship isn't the same as it was before he did this. People in my family specifically try to minimize and normalize it, but my fiance and her family and anyone else who knows thinks it's absolutely effed up. I feel like my family is trying to make me feel like it's normal to just keep our family together. The thing is, I've been distant emotionally from my family ever since. I feel like they all betrayed my trust, and I don't owe them anything. No one sympathized with this for me in my family. Only other people outside of my family made me realize I wasn't crazy for having these feelings of disgust and resentment. I truthfully tried to keep the peace, and just tried not to think about it or talk about it anymore. But with my wedding coming up, my family thinks my big brother should be more involved and deserves to speak or toast too. I think he should just be lucky that he's invited, and his girlfriend is invited too. They're still together, but he hasn't proposed or married her. My fiance is upset that this woman is still in our family. I can't blame my fiance, but I try to defend my family and say that they're my only family, so just forgive them. She wants me to shut them out after the wedding, or in the future when we have a family. I did not think about your fiance. Yeah, he's dating your ex. That's gotta be weird. Sorry, back to the story. I'm wrestling with emotions and complicated decisions of whether or not I should go no contact at some point, even though it's been 10 years. Am I wrong for still feeling the relationship is immoral and that my family should not be a part of my life as they betrayed my trust and have no remorse? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, OP, I get where you're coming from, because I do have a brother, and if he did that, it feels so weird. Like, personally, I wouldn't do it because it's weird, you know what I mean? Once, if you know what I mean, if we were done dating someone, I would just be like, that person doesn't exist anymore. Plus, that wouldn't happen because me and my brother have completely different tastes when it comes to women. But if I was in that situation like you were, yeah, it'd feel weird, and it would never stop feeling weird when I saw that person. I was originally thinking going no contact was a little over the top with your parents, but then yeah, they all basically, betrayed you and didn't have your back for forever, and made sure to protect your protect your older brother, which he should know better. Um, yeah, OP, personally, I wouldn't have invited any of them to the wedding, especially if you feel this way. And that sucks. It's gonna mess with you, and it's gonna mess with your fiance's special day like that. I'm with her. I'd probably go no contact, not even make it a big deal, just drift away. They probably won't even notice. OP, you're not in the wrong on this one, I'd say. Yeah, this would make me feel weird too if that happened with me and my brother. Ugh, makes me feel gross. Nah. Yeah, not in the wrong. And our final one comes from Authorian Sex. Am I in the wrong for being creeped out at my boyfriend's reaction during a movie? My boyfriend, a 24-year-old male, and I, a 21-year-old female, like to sometimes watch horror movies when I go over to his house. After seeing quite a bit, they've all started to feel samey, so my boyfriend went through great lengths to find a movie that would be different from our usual viewing. Boy did he, because this movie, Poughkeepsie Tapes, was like on any other horror movie I had seen. I don't want to spoil too much for those who haven't watched, but one scene involved the killer crawling on all fours to a woman he had captured in his basement. Her hands were tied and suspended from the ceiling, with superglue around her mouth so she couldn't scream while she was terrified. The killer toyed with her before slowly pushing two small knives attached to his finger into her neck. Blood seeped from her mouth and was trapped by the superglue. This part of the movie was extremely disturbing and unsettling to me. It felt way more real and torturous than anything I had witnessed. I cuddled up to my boyfriend and hid my eyes into his sleeve to try to get some relief. That's when I accidentally brushed my hand across his lap and noticed he was hard. I felt too afraid to even ask why he had been hard seeing something like that. My boyfriend does get hard rather easily, and sometimes at random times, but I feel like being hard at a moment like that is not an accident. He was transfixed on the whole movie and barely said anything to me. When it finally finished, he raved about how good the movie was, and described the feeling and a rush. I almost felt scared of him after seeing his reaction, but at the same time it feels like I'm being dramatic because prior to this, my boyfriend has never done anything that would make me feel unsafe. He's never raised his voice around me before. Am I being wrong for being creeped out by my boyfriend's reaction to this unsettling movie? I'm gonna say yeah, because sometimes you just get hard. Plus you were on top of him, that's probably good too, and honestly, even if he does, you know what I mean? It's a movie, it's not real. I mean, I grew up playing violent video games like GTA and Manhunt, and I never went, oh, well, time to go rob a car and hurt people. So I doubt your boyfriend is like, you know what I mean? I doubt he's like, oh, I want to do that to her because that feels great. I think you do. I think you're overreacting a little bit, and maybe he was just hard. I don't know. But I'm not getting, you know what I mean? You've been with him for long enough. I'm pretty sure if he was like that, something would have happened by now. So, P, yeah, I do think you're kind of just blowing this out, blowing this up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a little weird, but I don't think he's gonna super glue your mouth and chain you up in a basement and do things like that to you. Sometimes we just get friggin' hard, who knows? But yeah, Opie, I'm gonna say you're not in the wrong. It is a little weird, but if that was me, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be creeped out. I wouldn't think, oh boy, I'm dealing with a freaking torturer guy here. But in the wrong, but like a very, 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 very soft in the wrong. Cause yeah, it's a little weird, but I wouldn't really think too much of it. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.